Well, guys, so let's start off with what you're here for. How do you prepare for this IPMAT? What happened in this IPMAT exam in the last 1 or 2 years? This year, what is expected? And how do we plan for the next few months before the 2022 IPMAT exam happens? So I will start by first introducing myself. My name is Srinivas, guys. I am basically one of the chief mentors in Career Launcher. I have been training students for CAT and IPM and various other entrance exams for the last 14 years. Students. So that's a little bit of background about me. So let's start looking at the exam pattern. But for us, because if you want to crack this, you need to understand if you want to crack this exam in the next 6.5, 7 months, you need to know what is this exam going to look like. 2019, this was pre-COVID. Okay, 2019 was pre-COVID. Now, because there was no problem at that point in time, this was a complete 120-minute exam. Indore ka jo exam hai, it was a complete 120-minute exam. Okay, and they were totally 100 questions. As you can see, pura maths. You can see there are 2 sections in maths. One section is called short answer. One section is called MCQ. Now, short answer is not that you have to type out the entire answer with steps. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Short answer का मतलब है they'll ask you a question. There are no options. Only answer type करना होगा. Final answer. Okay, final answer. And MCQ is your normal multiple choice questions. So all of you know that. Okay, verbal ability English also is 40 questions. So maths, you can see 60%, 60 questions out of 100 are your maths. 40 questions out of your 100 are your English. By looking at this, people from non-math background might be thinking, "Arey baap re, 60 question out of 100, mera to ho hi gaya. Main kya karu abhi? I am not good in maths." You might be wondering about that. Okay. The marking scheme is +4 and -1. सही करोगे तो 4 mark, you make a negative. Negative means if you make a mistake, you will get a -1. But remember, in the short answer, इसमें -1 नहीं है. But MCQs section has a negative marking. So you can't blindly guess. Okay. Now 2020 and 21, ये 2 साल में क्या हुआ? And I'm sure all of you know, because of the COVID pandemic, they did not want to keep a complete 2-hour exam. Because of various reasons, exposure zyada hoga, vagera vagera, etc. So what they did is they converted this 120-minute exam into a 90-minute exam only, where they gave 30 minutes per section. And this time they reduced the number of questions to 20 questions in maths short answers became 10 questions in maths short answers. 40 became 20 and 40 in English became 30 in English, making the total 60. So the pattern changed in the last 2 years. Now, अगले साल क्या होने वाला है? Very honestly, I don't know. Nobody knows. We'll have to wait for the notification. But we already know. What do we know? अगर 2 घंटे का होगा तो ये pattern है. अगर 1.5 घंटे का होगा, if it's for 1.5 hours, then this is the pattern. So we are now familiar with both patterns. You don't have to worry about it. We'll just have to wait for the announcement whether the exam is going to be for 2 hours or it's going to be for 1.5 hours. Okay, that's about the exam. Now, the other couple of things to keep in mind is this is an online exam or a computer-based exam. Iska matlab kya hai? What does it mean? It means that you have a computer in front of you. You're supposed to sit in the center with a computer, and after 40 minutes, automatically this section will close and automatically the next section will open. आपके आंसर्स खत्म हुआ कि नहीं खत्म हुआ फर्क नहीं पड़ने वाला है. वहां पे पेज क्लोज हो जाएगा automatically and the new page will open up, and this will be for the next section. Once again, 40 minutes, 40 minutes are over. The second section will close. You will not be able to mark anything. You will not even be able to see the questions once the 40 minutes are over. Automatically the page will close down, the next page will open up. That will be your English. So that's what you need to keep in mind. Similarly for your 30-minute limit also. ओके सो नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि आप एग्जाम अगर लिख रहे हो सो टीचर टीचर 2 मिनट प्लीज 1 मिनट प्लीज यहाँ पे कंप्यूटर है सुनेगा ही नहीं आपके बात हो गया टाइम खत्म ओके वेल दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस now the next one is let's take a look at IPMAT Indore what were the marks required cutoff means if you get this minimum score they will give you a call for the next round what is the next round is interview round तो एग्जाम का स्कोर इफ यू गेट दीज इफ यू आर एबल टू अचीव दीज एग्जाम स्कोर्स then they will call you for the personal interview so let us see what are these marks that you need to get for getting the interview call let's start with the general category if you notice each question is 4 marks correct now look at this in 2019 20 and 21 in short answer if you remember short answer here were 20 questions 10 questions and 10 questions the number of marks required was 20 marks remember 20 marks का मतलब है आपको 5 questions सही चाहिए only 5 questions guys in fact 2021 इस साल जो एग्जाम हुआ है cut off was only 4 questions divided by 4 because each question is for 4 marks so if you want 16 marks 16 by 4 is 4 questions 20 by 4 is 5 questions so you need to get less than 50% correct in 2020 and 21 in 2019 you wanted only 1/4 25% questions right only 25% questions right in your short answer that was your cutoff मतलब कुछ भी करके आप 5 क्वेश्चन लेके आ जाओ आपका शॉर्ट आंसर सॉल्व हो गया it's as simple as that if you look at your MCQ 2019 40 questions then you had 20 questions and 20 questions anyway so if you're looking at this 32 it means approximately 8 questions you need because 8 for the 32 if you look at 2020 you need approximately 7 questions correct and here you need around 6 questions correct look at the number of questions guys less than half way less than half so you need less than half in maths coming to the English now English you can see the score is a bit higher now you might ask why is the score higher in English because English जो पूछते हैं वहां पे it is very 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 easy it is very 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 easy so you can see if you divide this by 4 so this is almost 17 questions this is almost 18 questions so you need out of 40 30 and 30 you need or something like this 17 questions correct and trust me guys this English is not at all difficult I mean aaj if I give you this question paper in English I can if you don't panic if you write calmly I can say हर एक को 10 क्वेश्चन तो सही आएंगे without any preparation I can guarantee that all of you will get 10 questions correct which means you have to get only extra 7 questions more 7 to 8 questions that's all you need in English this is the cutoff guys this is what your target is in the next 7 months these are your targets now it's just for general I spoke about similarly there are other categories depending upon where you belong to look at what are the scores that you're looking at what are the scores that you need and you have to prepare for those scores okay let's move on to the next right so now the next exam when you're preparing for IPM Indore you'll also prepare for the other exam which is IPM Rohtak also has its own entrance exam called IPMAT Rohtak this exam in 2020 and 2021 basically the number of so in 2020 it was a 60-minute exam and 2021 they made it into a 120-minute exam and you can clearly see the number of questions per section okay so it is very very straightforward quant that is maths English जो same maths and English जो आप इंदौर के लिए पढ़ रहे थे but there is an extra area called logical reasoning logical reasoning is actually easy it is not a difficult one but simple से puzzle देते हैं यहाँ पे like your direction sense blood relation A is the mother of B is the father of C has 2 grandchildren and something like that or A is sitting opposite B, B is sitting to the right of C, C is sitting behind A, C is sitting behind D. So something like that. So logical reasoning questions are not very difficult. They are easy, but it requires a little bit of practice. Maths here is actually easier than Indore. तो आप अगर इंदौर के मैथ्स के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो, ये बहुत आसान लगेगा. If you are preparing for Indore, you will find Rohtak's maths easy. You will find English of both exams same level. Both are easy, not difficult. Okay, so this is what happened in your IIM Rohtak. And the cutoff marks you can see was 265 this year. If you divide it by 4, remember what is the total that you need? 4 6 are 24 and 4 6 are 24. So around 65, 67 pakad lo. So you need 67 questions total correct. And there is no sectional cutoff here. No, that's the great thing. There is no sectional cutoff in this, guys. So overall milake, you need to get 67 corrects. That's all. So whereas in Indore, every section you needed to have a minimum cutoff. But here, total, which means you can excel in English. 40 में से 40 लेके आ जाओ English में. And बाकी maths get 20 and logic you get 20 या 10 जो भी है खत्म आपका. You're done. All right. And now the other beauty is there is no sectional time limit also, which means आपके पूरे 2 घंटे मिल जाएंगे यहाँ पे, and the entire 2 hours is for the 120 questions. Entire 2 hours is for the 120 questions. Now the third exam is JIPMAT, and JIPMAT पहली बार हुआ है 2021 में. This is the first time the exam has happened. This was a 2.5 hour exam. 2 plus 30 minutes, 2.5 hours. Okay, the total questions were 100 and it was distributed as 33, 33, 34. There was no sectional time limit. There was no sectional time limit in JIPMAT also. JIPMAT is the entrance exam for Bodh Gaya and Jammu. Whereas if you notice, I spoke about 3 exams. Indore for Indore, Rohtak exam for Rohtak, JIPMAT for Jammu plus Bodh Gaya. Then there's one more college which I spoke about, Ranchi. Ranchi क्या करता है? Ranchi does not have its own exam. Ranchi takes the exam of Indore only. It takes only Indore's exam score. And there is another exam called SAT. Usually Indians don't write SAT, so I'm not getting into it. But Ranchi takes the score of these 2 exams. Either Indore ka entrance exam score या SAT ka entrance exam score.